it looked cool, but rather he did it because he was simply extremely curious about it. So the prerequisite for all of these things is mainly curiosity. I know it's a really hard topic, knowing what you're passionate about. So if you don't really know what you want to do, my main advice would be to sort of keep exploring things, actually explore deep enough to know if you want to do it, and then from there you can figure it out. But if you know exactly what you want to do already and you know you want an internship, that's where my advice comes in then. So first of all, when it comes to landing an internship, you need two things: skills and relationships. The best way to build skills, in my opinion, is to build projects. For example, if you love building websites and you want to be a web developer, just keep building websites and building your skill. If you want to be a graphic designer and you if you want to be a graphic designer and you love designing things, just keep doing that and building your skills. For me personally, it was about AI and coding software. So most of my examples would be revolving around that. And that's sort of how I built it up. Along with that, I also wrote articles and created videos to build my media leverage. If I were to simply build projects and no one were to see them, that's a lot of wasted luck right there. You really want to be extremely intentional about setting yourself up for success and sort of, you could say, engineering your luck. So what I did after each project is that I would sort of create an article and also create a video. What this does is that it when you teach someone something, you sort of learn it twice. And also, people in the future, if they were to see your work, they have a much better understanding of what you're capable of, and in the future could offer you an internship. Now, the second part, which is extremely important, is all about building relationships, mentors. Now, a mentor is basically someone who's already doing what you want to do. So they can sort of answer the questions that you sort of need answered. Now you can find them in many places, such as on LinkedIn or X. I know that Max got a really cracked mentor on X before at some sort of space company, but you can just find them extremely easily online. Just a quick search, you can find it, and then just reach out to them. Basically, reach out to them. Ask any questions you have, ask for advice. What matters more in this case isn't about a first impression, a good first impression, but it's mainly about staying consistent with what you want to do. If you have a mentor and you show consistency that you want to do the thing, that you're building the projects, then they're going to be extremely more willing to give you advice and help you out. One strategy that I know is that if you really want an internship at a specific company, what you could also do is find someone who's already working at that company, get him as your mentor, and then while you're building out the projects, you can keep showing him your progress over progress over progress, so that when the summer comes along or time when you're extremely free, they're much more likely to sort of offer you the internship because they've seen your progress, they've seen your growth, they've seen your up and downs. And one way I like to update my mentors and my mentor network is to use a newsletter. Basically, I just write out everything I worked on over the month. That way I can increase my serendipity, basically my possibility for luck. Now, on the other hand, let's say you're like a university student and you already have the skills, you're currently applying to jobs, but find it extremely hard. Now, I'll teach you exactly how to do that. So first of all, the main mindset shift you want to have is that you're here to add value to the company. It's a good educational experience for you, yeah, but you're here to add value to them. In school, they're here to add value to you. But when it comes to the actual job market, the dynamic is sort of the other way around at this point. Employers mainly care about two things. Do I want to work with you? And can you do the actual work? If you look at resumes, I think personally they're actually kind of outdated because within those two buckets, which one does it fill? It only fills the second one and not exactly the first one because it's literally just a piece of paper. A degree might fill out the second one, but projects definitely fill out the second one. Now, there's many creative ways to do the first one, but the first thing you need to do is actually find lots of companies you want to work at. So for me, I created like a CRM of companies that I wanted to work at. For example, Perplexity, Buildspace, Cohere. And then I was looking at, and then I started looking for champions, basically people who can agree to you if you were to ask them for an internship, and then started reaching out to them. Another thing you need when you're getting ready to reach out to them is to make sure to have your portfolio ready. I do that with a personal website and sort of put all my projects on there so that they can see it. But one extremely useful way to land an internship is to simply reach out and talk to the person because it can fill out both of the boxes. You can prove that you're actually capable, and you can prove that you're actually a good fit for the culture. I'm not even joking. If you're a mean person and you have a bad personality, they won't even let you on the team, even if you're extremely skilled, because you actually lower down the team's morale. And once you're on the meeting, if it goes really well, you can ask them some questions. Like, for example, do you know anyone who's offering some internships? Now, what this does is that it doesn't put the pressure on them. So what they can do is that if they're offering an internship, they can give you one themselves, or they can refer you. The worst case scenario being that they just don't give you one. Or you can go down the alternative path by asking them, if you were to hire me in X amount of months, why would that have been? That way they can respond with, oh, well, it would have been because you did X and X and X. And then you can actually do those things that they tell you to do, and you can sort of earn your way to an internship. Though this is all assuming that you actually know what you want to do and know the companies that you want to work at. Now, another thing I want to touch on are something called unconventional resumes. Now, because resumes are the conventional path, you need to differentiate. There's this quote I like a lot, which basically said, the only way to achieve unconventional success is to follow an unconventional path. And if everyone else was sending out papers, literal papers to try and get a job for their livelihoods, you have to stand out in some sort of way. And I'll show you a couple examples. This guy here is called Mikhail Haji. He's a 15-year-old student who actually landed an internship at a company called BlackRock. He sent this video to Brian Johnson, this longevity billionaire, and got a meeting with him. While they couldn't take on him as an intern, he actually ended up referring him to his biggest competitor, BlackRock. And so I'll play this video to show you guys. Can you hear it?
Hengbin, we can't hear.
Can't hear it? Okay, crap.
I think you have to close your slideshow and put it back up with sound this time.
With sound. Okay, yeah, give me a sec. This is like a really good video. Share the sound. Okay.
Imagine with
Now?
increasingly powerful tools
Okay, cool.
to literally author any kind of world that we can imagine. What kind of story will we choose to write? Thank you.
My name is Mikhail Haji. I'm a 15-year-old neurotech developer, and the story that I want to write is one in which we use these tools to align with humanity's long-term thriving. And this video is the next chapter that I'm going to embark on in order to make this story a reality. In the last year, I've been eating, sleeping, and breathing brain-computer interfaces. And it's come to a point in which I have all these projects, but now I need to take my learnings from these projects and put it into action. And this is where my challenge for Kernel comes in. I challenge you to take me on as an intern. So ever since I was a little kid, I've had this extreme unbreakable pull to the brain. And so when I first discovered brain-computer interfaces, I was hooked and truly believed that I'd found my purpose in life. From there, I dove deep into various aspects of the brain-computer interface field. And one realization that I came across was that in order to make a real impact with BCIs, we must make BCIs go mainstream. And that is exactly why I would like to intern at Kernel. Kernel is working towards bringing light to the brain-computer interface field by leveraging their non-invasive, high-fidelity brain-computer interfaces to curate cooperative, high-scale neuro datasets. P300 lie detection, an EEG emotion classification messaging app, a project with neurostimulation using superparamagnetic iron oxide nanoparticles, an EEG alcohol detection model, a P300 speller, an artifact detection with K-mean++, EEG augmented passwords, rating interest in visual content. These are just a few of the various projects that I've done in the last year. Coming into the neurotech field, I was rather naive as I had no clue just how large and complex neuroimaging data was, encompassing many dimensions related to structure, function, and pathology. However, by building all these projects, I was able to develop a skill set to effectively collect, process, analyze, and interpret neuroimaging data. These last few months, I've developed an unbreakable interest in both magnetoencephalography and FNIRS. In fact, just yesterday, I put together a white paper on the theory and principles surrounding FNIRS, and boy, did I enjoy making it. So, Colonel, it would be a dream come true to be an intern, and I challenge you to see if that can be a possibility.
Yeah, see what he did there? That right there is basically an unconventional resume. He proved that he has a great personality, and he proved that he can actually do the work with that video right there.
With increasingly
Now, I like that video, so I just copied it, and it worked pretty well. I'm not gonna lie, I think I got actually really lucky there, and a lot of people saw it, which resulted in more people actually sending me job offers. But there's also other ways you can do this. I know that some funny ways people do this is that they send pizza boxes with the resumes attached inside. So others send like cupcakes with their resumes attached inside. But really, it's all whatever fits to your personal needs. Just do whatever fits your personality the best, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to internships and you're reaching out to people, it all comes down to a people's game. If you reach out to more people, you can get more offers. All you need really is just one yes. So if you talk to 100 people and at least one of them says yes, you got it right there. And as a recap of everything I said, it comes down to following your curiosity, building relationships and projects, and also sending out unconventional resumes. The hardest part, in my opinion, is probably building out your curiosity because passion, in my opinion, is a really hard thing to develop. It's a really hard thing to develop. It comes very randomly, and it's a thing that's built up over a long period of time. But it's basically it. Any questions?
Alrighty, I guess I'll start with the questions then. Awesome, Hengbin. Hope you guys all loved Hengbin's talk. I'm actually going to send Hengbin's unconventional resume, the one that he did, inspired by the person you just saw. Here, it's on Twitter. Let me see if I can share it with y'all.
Which one?
Here. So it's in the chat. Here you go. This is basically his unconventional resume. I think you were applying to build space and yeah,
Oh,
far as it, yeah.
that was another one.
So
Yeah.
Hengbin was basically attempting to apply to or just land an internship with another company. And so what he did is he created his own unconventional internship or resume, and then guess what? They actually responded there. So like this just goes to show if you actually really try, just like and follow what Hengbin's telling you, you and follow an unconventional path, you can definitely land an internship, or at least get outreach. Okay, awesome. Alrighty then. Okay, first question for you, Hengbin. You talk a lot about outreach, right, and finding
Yeah.
mentors and finding people. Would you mind like sharing some of your strategies for outreach, and would you mind like telling us what cold outreach is and how you can get better at it?
The main thing about cold outreach is basically just reaching out to someone that you've never met before. All that really matters is consistency. Just sending them like a billion follow-ups. I know that your brother Saijo was trying to talk to a billionaire called Naval. He had to send him like 20 follow-up emails until he actually got a response from him. So I think the
40.
biggest thing that matters is literally just showing progress and following up. Each follow-up show progress, but it comes down, honestly, it really comes down to knowing what you want to do. I think that's the hardest part.
Definitely finding your passion. Yeah, awesome. So how were you able to like find the right people or know that this opportunity is something that you wanted, or like this company is something that you should be spending your time trying to get an internship at?
I suppose just whatever company that aligns with my vision. All I really care about is like what they're gonna do in the future and the people that work there. That's kind of all that matters to me.
Absolutely. Well, we got a few questions.
Oh,
Okay. a few more questions. You
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about a lot about or one of the main like principles that you talk about with landing internship is unconventionalism. So what are your thoughts on unconventionalism, and what do you think it means to be unconventional?
Being unconventional is basically just deviating from the standard path. You have like, pretend you have a billion people applying to a university. Only a couple of them actually make in because they're unconventional. They did something that stands out. They are that red dot. So being unconventional basically means doing something that others aren't willing to do. And that's really important when many other people are trying to apply for the same thing.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, then I think the chat is getting hungry for all the questions that
Hungry.
they have. I guess we can start off with what did you prepare except for resume? What
Uh,
did you
prepare
I think
except
it's
for
asking
resume?
what did you do beyond besides your resume
Or
to get
beside my
land this
resume?
opportunity? Yeah. Like
What did I do
not
beside my
only not
resume?
like to get an internship, what did you do besides your resume or the video you made?
Well, I mean, the main thing really here is just building projects and building skills. So if that's what the question is asking, that is like a really big thing here. What did I prepare except for the resume? If that's what you mean.
Yeah, I think so. Um, okay, there's another question that's asked, what made you successful? It's very open-ended.
I don't consider myself successful yet. After every success, there's always a next level of success to do. But I think the main thing here is actually sort of having that desire to grow. I think, yeah, it all comes down to interest, I would say, like following intensely your interests. Because I also got into self-development because I was so interested in the stuff I was doing. Like I wanted to wake up at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. in order to work further on my projects. So I think the thing that sort of snowballed all of it down is just pursuing what I'm curious about. Because that is kind of what life is about, in my opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. Makes sense. Another question is how how were you able to know like if or how are you going to figure out the right opportunities if for say the company that you're applying to actually takes internships at your age?
I kind of ignore them because the thing is, society is not built up on rules. Like those rules themselves are made up by people. Because even if it says that high schoolers are not allowed and that they don't hire high schoolers, there's always going to be exceptions because the person who made that rule was a person. So if you can change that person's mind, it doesn't really matter. People just don't care.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. Basically just like um apply to whatever you want and pray you get in because you're unconventional.
Facts.
Okay, another question is what skills have you achieved that allowed you to get scouted at such a young age?
What skills have I achieved that allow me to get all that at such a young age? What skills have I achieved? Like what skills I developed, kind
Like per
of?
se mindsets or habits that have helped you with applying and actually scoring internships.
Applying and actually scoring internships. Well, if you were to ask me like what helped me in my life the most, I would mainly say kind of like discipline because it's kind of all about doing some like if you want to do it, if you want to do it, you have the resources, you have the time, you have all of it. All it comes down to at that point is mainly just discipline, being able to do things regardless of how you're feeling. So in my opinion, I think that helped me the most because it sort of accelerated my habits.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just like a follow up, maybe for the people that are interested, how were you able to, I don't know, change from someone who, I don't know, change from someone who doesn't have discipline, who can't wake up in the morning, to someone who can? How are you able to change from someone without discipline, basically, to someone with discipline?
Well, I think this quote summarizes it the most. You're the average of your five best friends. So I used to be like a massive gamer when I was in grade eight. I had like nothing else to do. After school, I would just game. During online school, I would literally play games too. But the moment I actually started like chasing my curiosity, I guess no, not really that. I think Yeah, it was mainly the friend group that I was in that mainly changed my mindset because the moment I joined this program called TKS, you're in it too. Everyone there was like so cracked, so insane. You have like people starting their own startups, people working on their insanely cool projects. And then when I looked at myself, I realized that, oh crap, I'm still gaming. What am I doing? So I kind of changed up all my mindsets from there.
Awesome, amazing. So on the topic of mindsets, what habits, like specifically, would you say would help you get into the internship mode or the Sigma grind set?
What? Sigma mindset? Oh. Yo, someone asked how to
What
skibidi,
habits?
how to skip, how to sigma. What habits?
Yeah, like something that I don't know,
Hmm.
maybe waking up in the morning
Yeah,
or
that one. Definitely be waking up in the morning early because it allows you like my morning ritual is like so it's a bit too long. I work for 1 hour, then do some exercise, stretching, meditation, journal, meditation, then I learn some stuff online, and then I go back to eating. But I think waking up early is extremely important because you can sort of train your focus at that point. I think the world right now is extremely distracted with so many things like phones, social media, YouTube. It's just too easy. So I think if you wake up in the morning and get straight to work, you can sort of allow yourself to train that focus. And if you build that confidence that you can actually focus, you can accomplish so many other things in life. Because really, it comes down to just sitting down and focusing.
absolutely, absolutely. And funny story, when I was working with Hengbin on a challenge, he used to drag me up in the morning every day at 6 a.m. And I did not want to do it, but Hengbin was wide awake with his dancing at 6 a.m. So I think Hengbin really likes waking up in the morning. So to answer your question, it's definitely probably waking up in the morning. Um,
Push-ups.
so on the topic of that, someone's asking, when do you go to bed?
I tried going for 8:30 most of the time.
Damn, that's crazy. I
I
try going for
try.
10.
I try. 10? Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Well, awesome, awesome. We have so many more questions. I think that's what keeps going. Okay, now let's talk more about TKS. How have you been able to sort of leverage the TKS experience to get, or like the resources that TKS provides, to get an internship?
What you put in is what you get out. If you clearly define what you want and put in the effort, you can sort of get whatever you want out of it.
Absolutely.
I think it was probably the most eye-opening experiences ever, in my opinion.
Yeah, TKS teaches you the mindsets to follow, but you still have to put in the effort and the focus.
That is true.
Um, oh, another question. You talk a lot about passion and curiosity, right? So how were you able to find your passion for building things?
I'm not gonna lie, it was like a really, really funny story. So when I was in grade 4, there was a game called Roblox. I was so addicted to making Robux. I tried everything I could. Like Robux is like the virtual currency in the game. I tried literally everything I could. I put my password into random websites. I put my debit card information at the time into random websites. They did not work, but it all changed when I was in grade 5 when I learned how to code. I basically when I learned how to code, I kind of combined both of the two things together, coding and Roblox. I used coding to actually make Robux in this very interesting way. There was this demand in the market where people wanted followers but weren't popular enough. So I created a Python bot that would sort of bought their followers and they paid me Robux. So much to the point that I actually ended up making money from it. But the main thing there was sort of just interest. I was just too obsessed with getting Robux that I built my coding skills so hard at the time. And the thing about passion is that people usually enjoy the stuff they're really good at. And so because I was so good at, I guess not really good, but because I developed my coding skill so hard at the time, I was just naturally good at it. And as a result, I enjoyed it. So it's sort of that snowball effect where if you actually enjoy, or if you actually are good at it, you enjoy it. If you enjoy it, you do it more. And it sort of keeps on snowballing, snowballing, snowballing until you have a full-blown passion. So I don't believe that passion is not found, but it's rather developed.
I think I heard that from someone before.
Heard that from
Passion's
someone
not.
before?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I think someone asked me. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Passion is developed, And I think you were able to find your passion in building things by trying a lot of things, right? You tried like every possible method of getting Robux until you finally found the one that like developed your passion. Well, that's amazing. Um, and let's go talk more about internships. Like now that you've already scored a few internships over the summer or are in the process of landing some internships, what are you planning on trying to gain or learn from these experiences the most?
What am I trying to gain from it?
Like, well, let me see. What's the question? What do you want to gain from these internship opportunities?
Mainly just, oh yeah, yeah, I know. So it was mainly just about building projects that would actually have real impact on people. Because what I found out when I was building my own projects was that kind of I would build it, not ship it to much people, and then move on to the next one. Because I mainly like that building part. The selling part was a bit harder. So my thinking process at the time was that if I were to actually do an internship, I could go to a company and sort of build a product that can actually impact people.
Awesome. So you want to have your products and projects have merits, right?
Yeah,
Have
merits,
benefits.
merits. But it's important to target small companies because bigger companies don't exactly let you do that. Like
They just
bigger
want money.
companies, they do want money, but the main thing is that they give you less responsibility because there's so many people there who are already so capable.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now a bunch of people are asking about TKS specifically. I think we have three questions in a row about TKS.
Okay.
Let's just go chronologically. Okay. Which program did you take from TKS?
Um, I went to the Toronto one. Which program I went to take from TS?
I think
Yeah, Toronto,
Innovate
yeah.
Toronto, right?
Yeah, Innovate Toronto, yeah. There's like 2 years part of it.
Yeah. So Hengbin, he did the first year in TKS, and then he thought I can probably try a bit harder. So he did the next year, and that's when I joined, and that's how I met Hengbin. So this guy's like a goat in TKS. This guy decided to do another year of TKS just because he wanted to. That's crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, TS is literally just pursuing your interest intensely.
Definitely. Um, okay, so now continuing the topic of TKS, down the second question of three, what advice would you give to someone who wants to go to TKS?
What advice would I give to someone who wants to go? Who wants to go? Okay. Who wants to go?
Think about Hungbin 3 years ago before joining TKS. What was he? What do you think as now? Like, okay, let me
Okay,
rephrase this.
I know.
Imagine yourself 3 years ago. What advice would you tell him before he joined, or yeah, before you joined TKS?
Pursue what you want to actually do. Just pursue your interest intensely. Because I think when I first joined, I was playing games. I was mainly just playing games. I didn't have an intention with it. But after I beat myself up like halfway through, something like that, I realized that this isn't what I actually wanted. So you should really try to clarify like what you actually want to get out of the program so that you can actually maximize the value out of it.
Awesome, amazing. You got to really focus, right,
Yeah.
on what you love. Okay, and final question of on the topic of TKS, what age would you recommend to go or join the TKS program?
There's a popular quote, age is just a number.
There's two ways to interpret that.
I don't think
um,
age should be a limiting factor. But Max, you're
Absolutely.
literally grade 7 and you're in the program already.
Yeah, so I completely agree with you. If you're wondering what age to join TKS, apply every year. Apply every year until you get in. Doesn't matter how old you are.
Go back.
That's the strat.
Yeah.
I actually tried to apply in grade 4 in 2020. So we didn't get in obviously, but
Oh my God.
ignoring your age, right? There's no limiting factor of being young in TKS or with opportunities, right? As long as you have the desire, as long as you have the focus, you can do whatever you want. Okay. Now let's move more to habit. This Samuel asks, you mentioned that you love to play video games as well. And then they wonder what triggered you to make a change to be so awesome. That was not in my words, that was what they said.
What triggered the change? I would mainly suppose two things. So the first thing would be the people who I surround myself with. When I see all these people around me who are doing such awesome things, and then I look at myself, I realize that I could have been doing so much more better things. And second would be that I think there's just so much frustration with playing like when I have goals, except I don't pursue them when I'm playing games, the frustration just keeps on building up and up and up and up. And at some point, I just can't take it anymore. So I just change. Though this only works if you have an actual good reason to change.
So I guess like the first step to change is knowing what you want to become, right? Or having the goal.
Yeah. There's this quote. If you don't know what you want to do, wait, what was
Yeah,
it?
if you don't know where you want to go, all
Yeah,
roads will take you
yeah.
there.
If you don't know where you want to
Yeah,
go, any road will take you there. So always be intentional about your life.
absolutely. I completely agree. Um, okay, someone's asking if you would like to share more, or go in a
Mhm.
bit more detail as to what kind of projects you've worked on.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure, sure. So mainly I was interested in AI because it can apply to literally every single industry, even its own industry. But some of the projects that I worked on was that I built, okay, some of the projects was that number one, I built an AI that can sort of classify educational reels, educational shorts. I built an AI that can sort of play chess. That one was just for fun. I built an AI that sort of lets you use Google through SMS, so no Wi-Fi required. But mainly, I just kind of just like building things. Yeah.
I mean, the passion builds your project.
That's
So
true. It depends on
yeah,
the person.
yeah, and so your focus at TKS is AI, right? And so on the topic, I'm bringing this back to TKS because a bunch of people are asking, what do you do in TKS? Or like,
Mm.
yeah, basically.
Yo, there's like a free advertisement at this point. But what you do at TKS is like it's basically like a human accelerator for ambitious kids. The main thing I would say is that pursue your they help you pursue what you want to do. For example, if you want to start your own company, they're gonna help you exactly do that. If you want to get into quantum computing, they're gonna help you build projects in that and internships in that. So it's really a choose your own path kind of thing. It's structurally unstructured, but I would mainly say it's targeted towards people who want to make an impact on the world. Though it just doesn't have to be that. And other things you do in TKS are company challenges, where basically a few companies come to TKS and they sort of have like a big problem they want to get solved, and a bunch of students will try and team up together, try and solve that problem. That's another big thing about TKS. But mainly it just comes down to knowing what you want to do, and they're gonna help you intensely with that.
At this point, Nadeem should start paying us because of the advertisements for TKS.
Oh, facts. That's true.
Okay, more questions about TKS. Um, there's a person who is going to join TKS, but they don't really know what they're going to work on or what they're going to focus on. So what's your inspiration um for like choosing the path of AI or to build a project? What inspires you? What
Oh,
drives
It just for me, it's fun to take an idea from 0 to 1 to actually build out that project. I think it's really important to do things for the sake of it, which is kind of counterintuitive, but that's sort of how passion is. It's like you play soccer because you just enjoy kicking the ball and playing the thing. You enjoy coding because you like typing. You like building things. So for me, I just enjoy building things. That's it.
Amazing, amazing. And I can also add in my own thing because I also go to TKS. If you don't know what you're going to focus on, or if you really don't know what you want to work on, TKS, like the first, I don't know, like one fourth of TKS is just finding that passion they have. I'll send the TKS.life website right now. I don't know if they'll allow you to log in, but basically what TKS offers you is it offers you a multitude of, is that a word? Yeah, hopefully that's a word. Like a lot of like modules that allow you to explore. I'll share my screen and show you guys in TKS. It's amazing. Hold up, share screen. Um, because we're basically talking about TKS, but TKS is an amazing program. You guys should all try it out. So basically what it does, like the first half of it, it has a bunch of these little modules that basically allow you to explore different topics in technology. And so exploring these, you can find your passion. I, of course, did space tech for my focus. Hengbin, of course, did AI. And so just if you don't know what you want to do, TKS will give you the resources to figure that out. Okay, let's dig for some more questions. Pardon?
I think we're basically kind of good. The main
Uh,
focus of this talk was to get an internship, and the main thing there is to just pursue your interests. If you want to do it, just build a network. That's it.
Absolutely. Um, Let me see. Well, one other question that was at the very start, I think you talked about this a little bit, but how were you able to, like, do you have any strategies specifically for how you're able to promote yourself with or like brand yourself?
Uh, brand myself. Personal branding, like promote myself.
Yeah, like how, do you
Oh,
have strategies
oh yeah,
for
yeah, of course.
able to do that?
I think for me, it was mainly just about media leverage. If you look at Elon Musk, he's like extremely popular. He has all the media leverage in the world, so that whenever he wants to work on something new, for example, he wants to hire new engineers, he has the media to try and go and do that. And it's sort of the same for your personal self, personal branding, personal media leverage. For me, whenever I worked on a project, I would sort of release it on LinkedIn, release it on Medium, release it on YouTube, try and increase my service area as much as possible. And from there, I can sort of build my network so that once I'm looking for an internship, I can actually so much more easily actually land one.
Awesome. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, let's see if we can find some more questions. If you guys, by the way, if any of you guys have any questions for Hungbin right now that you want to get out, message, you can put them in the chat right now.
FBI competition. Nice.
Yeah, that happened today. Um, why did
Think it's all good then?
I mean, there's a few more questions. I'm just seeing why did the job offering choose you? Well, why do you think, in your opinion, although you probably don't like in your best guess, why do you think um these companies chose to pick you or respond to your messages over any other passionate little boy?
I think mainly the hustle mindset, just asking for things. Like if the company saw that a young person was asking for an opportunity, an AI company, they see that you have so much more opportunity for growth. So if you have the figure it out ability, like basically you want to do something and you use your independent mind to figure it out, they can sort of see that independence in you and they kind of want to hire you. So in my opinion, it's mainly just about having the mindset to figure it out and having that hustle mindset, just asking things.
Hustle, Sigma grind set.
Sigma grinds it? Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, so some people are actually asking about these mindsets. Would you mind giving us a glimpse into your schedule and how are you able to balance your time and energy between academic
Okay.
achievements and your hobbies like coding?
Okay, good question. To me, building things, coding is a priority. And if things are a priority, like you should make time for it. There's this quote, I love quotes. Diamonds under pressure. Wait, no. Something under pressure. People under pressure can sometimes turn into diamonds. It was something along the lines of that. But basically, people who have lots of extracurriculars, they're kind of forced to make the best use of their time. That way they can actually have time for the other things. That doesn't mean just apply to a bunch of things and have a packed schedule, but it's what it means having actual priorities in your life. So for me, because this stuff is a priority, I focus super hard in school and actually try and get the work done. So that way when I'm actually at home, I can spend significantly less time on it.
Awesome. Sounds great. I think TK, one of the mindsets that TKS teaches you, this is my favorite mindset of them all, is it's never about the time that you have, right? You always have time. It's about the priority. And
Yeah.
yeah, so like this is a strategy that I personally use. Look at your schedule for those of you who are wondering about time management and actually building habit buildings and allocating time to your passions. Look at your schedule and just calculate how many hours of free time you have, right? So there's 168 Is that correct? 168 hours in a week, you're probably going to have at least like 10 hours of free time. So that's just my personal strategy that I use. Just know your schedule and try make sure you have time. Understand that you always have time to do things. It's just about priority. Now some
Facts.
people are asking, uh, what advice would you give about increasing? What advice would you give about productivity and increasing productivity?
Increasing productivity.
Yeah, and this question's coming from someone who spends quite some time on homework projects or just anything. So how do you like make sure like spend less time on projects and finish them quicker?
Mainly just focus, and focus. It is a hard thing to build up, in my opinion. It's sort of like a continuous thing. But if you focus, you can sort of get things extremely fast. You can get things done extremely fast. There's a thing called deep work and shallow work. Deep work is like extreme focus, except we need breaks. Shallow work is like doing like five things all at once, but achieving very little in it. So you all kind of want to you kind of want to build your ability to do this deep work. And one strategy I like from Huberman is to basically sort of do this thing called attention stretching. So for 30 minutes, just try and focus. Just try and focus. Do that 10 times, bump it up to 40 minutes. Do that 10 times, bump it up to 50. And then eventually all the way to 90 minutes. If you can focus for 90 minutes, you can get so much stuff done. Trust me. But it kind of comes down to just doing it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I think the quote you were looking for, someone put this in chat. Is it coals under pressure turn into diamonds?
Yeah. Coals under pressure turn to diamonds. That one.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it totally makes sense. I'm just gonna send for everyone who's asking TKS questions, so you guys stop asking us TKS.
Yeah.
I put
Oh,
the
facts.
TKS Now World website in chat. You guys can click on it. It's basically the TKS website that tells you everything about TKS. Some people are asking about your age, and do you have a goal for university
Oh,
when you graduate? Maybe
uh,
share your plan for after high school.
my age right now is like 14. Age is just a number, so it doesn't matter. But a goal for universities, it's a good question. I'm not entirely sure, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna keep figuring that out.
Mindset, right? Figure it out mindset.
Figure it out mindset. Figure it out mindset.
Alrighty then.
Kind of job
We're
offers?
huh? Yeah, what type of job offers do you
Yeah.
get? What type of
The
jobs do
job
you get?
offers, it was mainly just AI it was mainly just software companies, to be honest, that are sort of related to AI.
Awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
does anyone have any
I think
other
we're
questions?
basically I think we're
Yeah,
basically good.
yeah. Okay, we're entering the last 8 minutes of this. So if you have any
8
questions,
minutes?
in chat. 8 minutes. Wait.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
So yeah. Thank you, Hengbin. Great talk. Absolutely love it. Absolutely phenomenal. I hope all of you guys took away something from this. I'm gonna resend the TES.world link in chat if you guys are looking for I don't know, interested about TES. But yeah, I hope we all thank Hengbin for his amazing, amazing talk about internship opportunities. And speaking about opportunities, I'm gonna give a shameless plug right now. If you guys ever want, I have this program. Let me see what's it called. Next Youth. It's basically just a teaching program. So Cox like this with Hongmin coming over and sharing his experiences teaching us is basically what this program called Next Youth is doing. It's mainly just having people share with their things and personalized mentorship and talking with each other, building that role model, finding mentors. And so if any of you guys are interested in this program, you can feel free to message me probably, I think. And also, if you guys ever want to help out with this program, so Next Youth Mentor, we're actually looking for people to help us volunteer, help share their experience and teach other people. So if you ever want to have some experience teaching and helping other people out and gaining some volunteer hours, feel free to contact me, and you can come help out with sharing your knowledge and tutoring for Next Youth. And let me see if there's anything else I need to talk about. This is a shameless plug.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh yeah, also there's a STEM challenge for any of you guys that are interested. Basically just if you have any topics in science, technology, engineering, math that you're interested in, you can create a 5-minute video pitching this idea. And over $600 reward cash prize for best video. And yeah, sorry for that shameless plug, but I hope we all thank Hengbin for his awesome help today and awesome share and talk. And I hope you guys all took something away from this. Alrighty then.
Yeah. Main takeaway is just follow your curiosity, do what's interesting to you, and don't care about the internship opportunities. Just do what you're curious about. That's all that matters.
Just be intentional. Okay, I'm gonna send you guys the PowerPoint or like a small 3-slide slideshow. That's basically just more information about Next Youth, but feel free to leave now. And yeah, hope you guys learned something from this. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. That's a Discord.
Discord.
Well,
Okay.
hold
That's
up,
quick.
let me fix that. Yeah, so thank you, Hongvin. You did absolutely phenomenal today, and I hope many people were able to take away something from this. Awesome.
Did I participate in any coding contests? Mainly just hackathons, but aside from that, nah.
I think there's some TKS students that do a lot of.
It's contact me.
Pardon?
Oh, that for people who are asking.
Well, that's his website. Check it out. It's much better than my website because my website doesn't have any design.
It's very simplistic. It shows your personality.
It's the copy and Seagulls website. No. Yeah, so for those of you who are interested in Next Youth or TKS, you can check out tks.world. And otherwise, feel free to leave. There's still 86 people here. Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
fine. Yeah,
crazy.
you can leave now. It's all good. That's all good.
That's absolutely insane.
But Max, pro tip: do not create a presentation 2 hours before. I tried Creative Strategy. They said that if you make it like 2 hours before, 3 hours before, like the content sticks in your mind. Didn't work for me.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm gonna stop live streaming this now, but definitely